YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher of Realms. Let's get straight into it. This is going to be VOD review for the most recent battle that we had. So this is a Overlord guild that we went against. So a lot of interesting defenses, a lot of double Lord strategies. So let's just get straight to this. All right. So this is going to be the Praetus Ingrid team. They went ahead and attacked my defense, but specifically, so let's just kind of run through this. They used a little bit of an interesting variation. They go ahead and drop the bugs and stack them, and then once they get here, they drop the second spiders, and here we go. They are moving it through. Then they will drop the speeder to accelerate everything, and there we go. So it's a little bit interesting in how it functions. A lot of RNG involved, right? Because they actually go ahead and attack this a little bit previously as well, and they lost. So let's just kind of highlight that one as well. Let's see here. Here we go, right? So they're going to do the exact same thing, but Ingrid does more damage to the spiders, takes them out, and then also Procure freezes, I believe, as well. So let's go ahead and get out of auto fight. So they stack them. Once it gets to like right about here, spiders. And then they drop the speed. And here we go. Survives. Two of them go through, right? So there's some variation in it. If my Ingrid did a little bit more damage, probably fail. But just in general, it looks like the strategy has some good chances of being relevant. So if you want to go and test that, you're more than welcome to. That's, in my opinion, a little bit more of a YOLO version of it. So, yeah. All right, so this is going to be my attacks. So let's go straight through this. This is going to be versus Praetus, Carnelian, Torador, and Nora. They actually tended to run this composition a little bit frequently, so I feel like in their internal testing it probably did well. So let's just go ahead and do this. We're dropping the Pharaoh Guard first, right? Main reason is because we want him to tank the Praetus Lightning now. And then secondly, right, his entire job is to just survive Anora and Praetus. The reason being is because we're going to start spawning up these Necros once we hit the 10 cost. There we go. So we're dropping the double Necros. They're going to put pressure on Torador, which honestly doesn't matter because it's not like we're going to go ahead and use a strategy of trying to take out Torador, but it's always nice. So we go ahead and drop the skeletons from the Necros, and we drop a healer. Reason being is we want to keep these units as tanky as possible, just in case Nora starts chunking them down, because our goal is to start pushing through Torador and start taking out these eye crystals. And now once we see this happening, we're dropping the dogs. And the dogs is perfect, right? Their job is basically going to take out this, this, and this. Even if Nora ults, the job is pretty much done because they're behind her now. And then we're going to drop the final set of dogs here to provide that extra clearance. But this Pharaoh Guard is already back here, right? So we're going to win this one. But that's the methodology behind this. And that's going to work every single time. Now, the reason why I say that's going to work every single time is because I do this attack again against a different person, right? So let's go ahead and showcase it. Now I'll really explain this second one just so you can see exactly what I'm doing and why it's working. All right, so let's kind of slow this down. You're going to drop the Pharaoh Guard, right? And the Pharaoh Guard is going to kind of travel up here. And by the time he gets to here, Praetus will have a full charge of his lightning, right? So here we go. 3, 2, Praetus lightning. Hits. Then we're going to drop the full. And this unit is going to be ridiculously tanky, right? So he's going to kind of deal with Praetus and Anora by himself because he's going to absorb all of this damage when paired with the full. The next step is we're going to drop these double Necros because here's the thing that I talk about very frequently. Praetus will always go ahead and target the Necro skeletons, right? So let's kind of see this interaction happen. They spawn up here. Let's just kind of focus here, right? So they're going to spawn right here. And then they also, just for your like knowledge, Necro spawn here, here, and here. So here we go. Now, Praetus is going to start swapping targets over to the skeletons instead, right? Watch this. He's attacking those skeletons, which is perfect for us because our tank is just right there taking up free block, right? And then we drop the dogs. So we're pushing through here. This skeleton is going to proc this crystal. This next one is going to kind of start taking this. And now we basically mitigated all of the benefit of I being on this map, right? These dogs are just kind of gradually pushing through and tanking because Praetus is still stuck on just hitting all these skeletons. He's doing literally nothing for the team. And Honora is also doing something similar because she's focused on all these units. These Necros are just spawning up whenever they choose to. And because of that, we're able to just waltz through the rest of the map with relative ease, right? So super, super simple. I love that strategy. I was like up at 3 a.m. and I was like, I think this is just going to work if I just do it like this. And it worked, right? So definitely can't complain. Alrighty, let's go ahead and showcase the next one here. It's this one. Oh, dude, I get horrible RNG. It's not even funny. So let's just... I get such bad RNG in this one. Alright, so we see this comp, right? I'm debating, is Praetus Lord or is it Torador? I believe this one is Praetus as the Lord. So we go ahead and drop the Pharaoh Guard. Once he gets to here, Praetus will go ahead and proc his lightning. Quadruple Arbiter comp, by the way. So we drop the second Pharaoh Guard, and I'm just going to be very transparent. I do think me dropping this Pharaoh Guard second, as close to it as I did, was a little bit of a mistake. I think if I waited maybe a couple more seconds, it would have been much more effective, and you'll see why, right? So we proc Ajax ult, we proc Praetus ult. We drop these double Necros, which all this is fine, right? But as I said, this Pharaoh Guard is taking damage that's relatively unnecessary. He could be back here taking no damage, right? But we drop him a little bit early. And so here we go. So the Necros are going to spawn up another set here. Right now we're having about 4, 8, and once we get to here, we'll have about 12 skeletons just on the map. We're going to drop these double dogs once Ajax ults. There we go. That's our clearance. We're going to drop them now. So we need two things to happen, right? We need this tank to survive longer. And he dies. But we take out Torador, and we're pushing against Valkyria. Valkyria is dead. Constance is dead. These units die. Like, one gets through, but Praetus takes out the second one. So that's why I say, if I waited maybe like half a second longer, this was a perfect run, right? Super, super easy, super replicable. Could do it like a billion times over. Also, at this point, it's kind of like a loss because we have double healers. Real quick, my mindset is maybe the healers in the full can kind of like survive long enough through this onslaught to, you know, win. It doesn't happen. It literally doesn't work that way. So you can easily like swap this for archers because archers are going to hit this tile every single time. And then also Garnet Guards because Garnet Guards would hit Ajax and then also hit Praetus and then you win, right? So that's going to be your variations. Just wait a second on the second Pharaoh Guard and then also, you know, drop your archers and then drop your Garnet Guards so they can take out those two platform units. Super easy. All right, where are we? We lost this one. Here we go. All right, so this is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a nightmare version of the previous team. So it's going to be Abomination, Ajax, right? So one of the things that I noticed, at least right off the bat, is they're not going ahead and using Lunacy Visor on Abomination. So he has 2 block instead of 3 block. And then also, right, this isn't even a full Nightmare comp because there's only 3 Nightmare units. So this kind of like helps me because I know they have 20% attack speed boost instead of 35. So that's helpful. And so we just do this setup, right? So we're going to go ahead and drop the Pharaoh Guard. Then we're dropping the Necros. Kind of let this speed up. All right. So at this point, right, we're going to drop the second set of skeletons right now. Awesome. So we're going to basically fill up this map perfectly for us. to where we don't even need to wait on Ajax. Like, look, his ult isn't even close, and Praetus is like in a decent spot. So we're gonna drop the double dogs here, and this should be a very, very simple pass through, right? We're only looking at 6 block, and we've already kind of taken all that block up. And here we go. Watch the dogs. Easy pass through, super simple. And we don't even use the healer, we don't even use the Fool. So that's going to work every single day of the week, because we have those 2 extra units just for clearance. If we absolutely needed them, we could swap them out for honestly anything. You could drop double tanks just so they can sustain in case things get a little bit mixy, right? But super easy, you don't even need them. Alright, I could have honestly 3-united it. So this is going to be esoteric team. I've talked about this team, or not this team, but like this type of team a lot recently. There's a lot of ways to beat it, but I feel like the best way, at least the most consistent way for me, is to do it like this, right? We drop the Pharaoh Guard, kind of speed this up a bit, and then we drop the Fool, right? So the whole point is the Fool is going to keep this Pharaoh Guard alive. And mind you, I do know that Anora is in Bookkeeper range, and then also Greed is in Garnet Guard range. I don't want to risk that, because I know how Ezreal functions. Ezreal, especially if he's A5, will miraculously keep her alive, and then I'm out of luck, right? So rather not even risk it. So we drop the Lightning Guard now. The whole purpose of the Lightning Guard is to go ahead and basically force this skeleton to be low, so that our dogs are able to pass through once we're at 10 cost. And we've kind of baited out all these ultimates as well. Anora is about to ult, but I think we're pretty good to tank it. Let's see. I might even wait. Yeah. I wait for her ult because I'm like, I'm not really in that much danger of losing here. So we go ahead and wait out her ult. Here's what we're going to do. 10 cost, we're going to drop the dogs. And we're going to basically force or like bank on our ability to tank the Boreas. So here we go. 10 costs, double dogs. Here we go. 1 set of dogs is going to take out the skeleton for us. There we go. And then this just needs to tank it. And it does. At this point, it's GG. Super, super easy, right? And that's even with us kind of like waiting a second. And normally I would not wait that second. But because Anora was about to go ahead and do her ult, it's better to just kind of give it a second here. All right. Because there's so many cases where you go ahead and drop like Anora, or drop your dogs into Anora ult, and then you have no more dogs, and then you lose, right? So rather not even risk it. All right, we attack this team. Oh, I already just showcased this. My bad. Let's get out of this one. Urzon. All right, out of this one. Here we go. This team. I think this is the, yeah, this team I just get, so I attacked this team twice, and this version of the attack, I tried to make a substitution in like the placement. So I go ahead and do the Pharaoh Guard and the Fool, right? I'm just going to speed this one up. And then we drop the second Pharaoh Guard. I should have never done this. This is where I mess up. Like right here on this run, I dropped 2 Pharaoh Guards. So realistically, this unit and Praetus, like Gimert and Praetus, are both scaling up. Same for Anora, but Anora, if they're smart, is in Infernal Roar. This is just a mess, right? We're dropping them into all this. They spawn up the skeleton. They just get nuked. It's just a mess, right? The first version of this attack that I did actually made more sense. There was just a very minor mistake that I made, which prevented it from being a full-on win. Let's see here. There we go. All right, so let's kind of slow this down. So we're going to do this, right? We're going to drop the Pharaoh Guard, and then we're going to go ahead and drop the Fool. There we go. All that is good. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to wait, ideally, and you'll see this, I don't do this, wait for 10 cost and drop the Lightning Guard. And the reason why I say 10 cost is very specific. I dropped this Lightning Guard a little bit early, and I have about 4 costs remaining. So I dropped this at 9 costs, and here's what happens. Super interesting interaction. The lightning guard is kind of, doing its damage, forcing the skeleton low. It goes ahead and kills the skeleton outright, and then I drop the dogs. So there's a very, very minor differential in terms of when they all spawn up. And watch this. He spawns the skeleton right there. If I waited that one last cost, right? This dog gets through, and that final dog that was right there would have also passed through. And it'll probably survive Praetus as well to go ahead and get the full-on win. But because that very small second, and also my lightning guard, unfortunately, killing the sour skeleton, that's where, instead of having a dog do it, that's where the difference comes from, right? So I'll just kind of speed this up, like just let it run through. Feral guard into the Fool. And watch this. At 9 costs is when I drop the lightning guard. And that's what ruins it. Now. Then it goes ahead and takes out the skeleton. Double dogs. Caught. So simple. It's those really, really minor things that make such a massive difference at this level. It's so insane. All right, let's go ahead and showcase this one. This is a nightmare team that I attack. What happens? This is actually super interesting. I have not seen somebody set this team up like this. I actually kind of like it because it basically kind of puts the pressure on you. It basically is like, hey, we're not going to let you build up a swarm at all. We're just going to prevent it by just being here. So your necros only spawn 1 set and then 2 sets, but by the time they spawn up the second set, they're already being hit. And also Arrogance, his positioning is perfect for attacking the Fool, because the Fool's always going to be here, right? No one cares about your tank. Your tank is going to be tanky. But Arrogance, his job is just to prevent you from getting any form of sustainability. So it's actually really good. And then Hotset just provides that late game, like not late game, but like late insurance policy right here. So actually super interesting. Even if I dropped double necros, I feel like it wouldn't have been successful. Actually, it might have. Maybe I trolled, because we do push through. Interesting. But I like the placement. It's definitely interesting. And then let's go through just one of the defenses. Let's do this one, right? So this is my team. They go ahead and use basically the swarm strat, which is super, super common. Definitely not anything out of the ordinary, but I think they used it a little bit differently. So they dropped the Fallen Templar into the Fool, normal. And then I believe they dropped the second Fallen Templar, which isn't that common. Yep. Then they're going to drop double healers, I believe, if I remember correctly. They drop double healers. And then they go ahead and drop double necros and then double dogs to just kind of finish it out. So super interesting because they are really just banking on just tanking everything and then running it down. There we go. Success. Anyways, I don't want to just continue yapping too much. Those are all the attacks. Those are the defenses. Hopefully you got something that's cool that you're going to be able to use later on down the line. See ya.